The Fearless Podcast, in a time of deceit, telling the truth, is a revolutionary act. All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Fearless Podcast, episode 44.
Episode 44. Good to be here.
How you doing, buddy?
Oh, doing good. Had a great Saturday. Got a lot of grass mowing done, yard work done. Then James went ahead and smoked up some amazing ribs. Actually,
Yummy.
Buddy threw them in the smoker.
Buddy seasoned them.
Buddy seasoned them up, threw them in the smoker. Then the smoker ran out of pellets. And then James was like, oh no. And then he had to run out there, fill it up with pellets. But in the end, it was incredible.
Delectable.
Super good. Falling off the bone. Great stuff. So always be checking your local grocery stores for pork ribs, because they're always on sale. At least around here they are. So you can always get really good deals on your meat.
That's true.
Yeah.
For now, anyway.
For now. So always keep an eyeball out on the deals for the meat, because they're really good.
Yeah. So we got a lot of stuff going on around the farm. We've been heavily supplementing our chicken feed with grass clippings.
Yep.
And
I made a little short today.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So you want to go ahead and kind of say how that kind of started, actually?
Well,
that was kind of fun.
It originally started as the Littles wanted a job and something to do. So I gave them a 5-gallon bucket and I said, look, now I only want you to pick weeds that are in our blueberry and fig garden. I said, only pick weeds in here. And if you pack a 5-gallon bucket and dump it to the chickens, I'll give you $1.
Uh-oh.
So, of course, they're very thorough.
Yes.
And they did like 5 or 6 buckets in a very rapid fashion. And I was like, oh no, I miscalculated on this. It should have been 50 cents a bucket or something. So they made some big bank here. We spread the wealth. And so that's how it started. And then Matt said, well, I can use the grass bag and do this in short order. What's so neat, and this is kind of what we talk about all the time, is when you do things once and you reap the benefits over and over, where we've had so many different kinds of critters on our property and circulated, rotating around, rabbits, sheep,
chickens,
goats, chickens,
pigs. We
have, I would easily
cows.
Say,
horses.
Yeah, we had cows here.
Goats.
I would easily say more than 50% of our yard grass is about 3 or 4 different types of clover.
Yeah.
So
because it didn't used to look like that at all.
No,
at all.
It was all Bahia and it was terrible.
Yeah. Now it's almost like a golf field. Now it's incredible.
Super lush.
Every year it comes back better and better. And yeah, it's great.
It improves. And then now we can parlay that into literally harvesting it off and feeding it to the chickens, and it'll more than 50% offset our food bill.
Big time.
And then another thing that I'm planning, I revamped the chicken hutch today. Me and Buddy reinforced it. We enlarged the front door so that I don't smack my head.
Don't hit your head. Yeah. Because we used to free range for several years, and every year it always seemed like every year we had to restart our flock when we were free ranging, because some predator would get into the pen through the netting, whatever. Well, not with free ranging, but into the coop. We would try to lock them up every night. And then some nights they would be stupid and go sleep in a tree somewhere or whatever, and it felt like every year we were restarting and we're like, forget it. Because we're really big on watching all these people up in Alaska homesteading and things like that, and they don't mess around up in Alaska because they got crazy predators like we have predators down here in Texas, and they make a big old coop and they make it bomb proof. So we finally were like, let's just go ahead and design something, and we actually came up with a really neat design. It is a tunnel. It's a hoop house, kind of like a greenhouse style. But on top of it, we put chicken wire, and it goes all the way down to the ground. And we've had great success with that. And then about half of it, we have tarped. And then the front section, actually, we use the PVC
poly panels.
poly panels, actually, and those work good. Eventually, we want to
solid gray, not like translucent.
Eventually, we want to replace the tarp with those because
with 26, we're going to replace the tarp with 26 gauge metal.
Oh, we are. Okay, with metal. Okay. So because the tarps, you normally have to replace them about once a year.
Yeah.
So, and then the rest is all, open. So then they get plenty of sunlight and everything like that. But the only downside is with that is that you're feeding them grain, and
you're constantly having to bring material in there to keep everything
mulch,
fresh,
shavings.
So that's why I want to modify the opposite end of the tractor end.
Yep.
I want to take that end out, put in another door that's a little bit wider, and basically it's going to be a stationary kind of chicken tractor on steroids. So we'll put a compost pile in there, circle, and then we'll start layering our food scraps and our food scraps carbon. Let the chickens turn it, and then I'll leave that compost pile real close to the other end door so that it's easy to manage, walk in and out and different things. And the only defect in that design is I have to go through the horse gate to go around. It would be perfect if the chicken coop was not, if it didn't end in the horse, in the if it didn't
area. Butt up to the back of the horse fence.
But, it's just a small.
It is what it is.
I'm going to deal with it, and so we're going to make that modification. And that's. And then something else really cool happened this week. I had a business owner. He came to me during the week and he was like, hey, man, he's like, I got 14 acres right here in town and the grass is like waist high. It's like, what do you think? Do you want to throw a couple cows in there? And I was like, yeah. So of course, you say, yeah,
sure.
And then I'm like, well, now wait a minute. There's no corral or load chute. Like it'd be real easy. Now, what is really awesome about this 14 acres is it's never sprayed or anything. And
that's why it's grown so good.
Yeah. And the grass is so high and it's got a 6-foot cyclone. It's got a 6-foot chain link fence all the way around.
Wow.
So it's like, and then another thing where it's in town, the predator pressure is going to be non-existent. You're not going to have any issues with coyotes or cats because it's in a highly populated area for East Texas, and so I'm like, I wouldn't be able to. So I really got to thinking, and I was like, I've been saying for a long time now, I want to get sheep again, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get sheep. So previously we had a St. Croix Katahdin mixer. We had like a Greg Judy mix, and Greg Judy, he mixes St. Croix with something. I don't know if it's Katahdin but it's a hair sheep cross mix, and we've had them before. And so I was doing a little reading, and the shepherdess raises Dorpers, and she did a write-up on why she raises Dorpers versus St. Croix and the weight and all this cool stuff. So I'm like, I think Dorper is what I'm going to go with. They're slightly more susceptible to worms, so we'll deal with that. But they flesh out at a higher weight and faster. And I have like a ton of grass. I have a water source that's right there, so I can easily keep them watered. It'll be really easy for me to keep an eye on them. I'm really excited about this. Probably going to get.
Yeah. How many are you going to get?
5 or 6.
5 or 6.
Yeah. And I'm going to get a male as well.
Awesome.
So I'm really kind of looking forward to it. Cool. And it's really kind of neat where we can repurpose this industrial space and grow outs. And I had 2 people. I was like, hey man, this is what we're going to do. And he was like, hey, when those sheep are ready to be butchered, I want one. So I already have 2 people that are ready to, so I already have 2 customers. So like I'm in the instant sheep.
There you go.
So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
That's just going to cost me the cost of the sheep.
And just a little bit of time, a little bit of
effort, and looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's really neat.
Keeping the dream alive.
There you go.
And
that's awesome.
That's pretty much. Anything else for you happening around the farm, or
not much since the last podcast.
Okay. Yeah, and that's true. That
Yeah.
wasn't just a couple
that
days
was
ago,
like
so.
yesterday or something like
And we
that.
really we got a little bit of grief about getting onto the main topic, but
Yeah, sorry about that.
But sometimes that happens.
Yeah, that's what
and
happens.
And usually I thought that there was a running timer on here, but
normally, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't see one, which is interesting.
Yeah,
but,
it just says recording.
This kind of stuff happens to us all the time.
All the time.
So that's what's happening around the farm. We want to remind you of a new sponsor we have for the podcast. That's foodforestnursery.com.
Yep.
And the Texas Boys 10 will get you 10% off. They sell bare root fruit trees. Now is the time to buy and plant bare root fruit trees. They're a small local Arkansas nursery, great people with incredible trees. We planted their trees about 2 months ago. One is already bearing fruit, Asian pear, really high quality. Very impressed with their the way they shipped them, the way they came, the quality, and they're already productive. So people always say, "Oh, how long is it going to take for this tree to produce fruit?"
Well, not that long.
How about 2 months? No.
Boom.
And that is anomalous. So don't.
Yeah. Don't go into it thinking
past performance is no indicator of future. All that all that stock market stuff they say, that stock market babble. There's a little bit of truth in some of that. But anyway, so that's what's going on around the farm. How about health check? How about you, Matt?
Health check still doing good since the last podcast. Been doing good. Training's been doing good. Been setting some new personal best. Did
new PRs?
New PRs. I did not yesterday, but the day before last. I did 200 sets of 125 with shrugs, with weighted shrugs. So that was pretty cool. And then I think I finally got up to doing for it's a variation of a bench press, but with dumbbells actually.
Okay.
And
be careful with that.
Yeah, it is. But it's also a variation. I'm doing it because the way how you perform the exercise is it's for people that have had labrum surgery on their shoulders. Okay. So it's a better position. So instead of the dumbbells being out like this, they're actually here. And then you come up, come up and over because over your chest when you're laying down. They say if you're out like this, it's putting too much strain on it when you're coming down. So they said keep your arms next to your chest. Yep. So anyway, been able to do 50 pounds on that.
Right.
And then for 12 reps. So that's been really cool. So I'm now, which is so exciting now, I'm actually setting some new personal bests and after surgery. So that's always exciting.
Post-surgery, post-carnivore.
Yeah. There you go.
Wow. So that's cool. Well, I have two kind of neat hack type things. I've always suffered from, I sleep poorly. And when I switched to carnivore, my sleep dramatically improved for a season. Sometimes I would have so much energy, I'd have problems sleeping on carnivore because I'm like, wow, I feel so good.
That's funny.
So two different things. I've always thought that I've had sleep apnea. I know that I snore. I know for a fact that I snore. I know for a fact that I stop breathing when I sleep. Yeah.
And you have like that twitchy foot thing too. That'll wake you up.
Yeah. And I have the restless leg syndrome or whatever. So everything's a syndrome,
I know.
Who do I blame it on? I blame my mom. Okay. Sorry, Mom. I love you, Mom. So I've seen, I think the Craftsman, who's the awesome, is it called the Craftsman? The white hair guy on YouTube.
Essential Craftsman.
The Essential Craftsman.
Boom.
Okay. So the Essential Craftsman, he puts up a rando video about hostage tape. Right. And I was like, oh, check that out. And I'm like, man, but you tape your mouth shut. And if you stop breathing with your mouth taped shut, I wonder how that'll work.
Oh yeah. I think J Rhodes did a video about that too.
Did he?
Yeah. He started doing that.
So a buddy at work said, hey man, I was at this, some type of conference or whatever. And I got demo packets of the hostage shape. And what it is that it's got a nose thing on it that opens your breathing passages,
Hmm.
and then you put the hostage tape on your face.
How does that work with the beard though?
It just sticks to your beard and
Oh,
it's stuck.
seriously?
Yeah. And they tell you to, like, when you put it on, to not have your lips exposed, so you're not like taping it to your lips, because it would definitely rip the skin off your lips. And so I dove in and I used it, and that night I did not snore.
Are they reusable?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, you rip it all, and that's where the hostage tape is kind of crazy, because basically it's like $1 a day, and that's just so.
But I mean, if you're getting $1 worth of sleep,
right? So
I mean,
works.
there you go.
Okay, so here's the thing:
if it works,
there's all different types of mouth tape out there, and there's all different
get
types.
It in bulk.
Yes, and there's all different types of breathe right strips and stuff. So I know that there's a way that I can do this where it will be more reasonable than $1 a day.
Have you just tried the breathe right strip on your nose thing or whatever?
I have
without.
I know I haven't, but I'm going to try that too.
You should.
But I can tell you this, that the hostage tape concept totally works. And it will absolutely stop you.
Not sponsored, but would love to be sponsored.
But hostage tape, if you're listening,
hit us up.
Hit us up. You know why? Because all Transformers are Decepticons.
Exactly.
So hostage tapes work. So if you want to try a mouth tape and you snore, try it. It does work. And then secondarily, another thing I've implemented with my sleep is GABA HTP5, which is another derivative of GABA is gamma butyric, some kind of acid. So it's an amino. So HTP5 and GABA are aminos. So I do 2,000 milligrams of GABA. I do 500 milligrams of HTP. And then I take an L-theanine melatonin.
It sounds like drugs.
And if I take that natural cocktail, I'll still potentially wake up twice a night, but I fall right back to sleep and I sleep like off the charts. And I get them from like VitaCost. That 3 combo for like maybe $35 will last me like 4 or 5 months. So it's very inexpensive.
That's cool.
It is amino acids, so it's all natural, whatever that means. You know, there's lots of things that are all natural, but you know, they're amino acids, and I do sleep incredible. So that's a couple updates where I originally started on carnivore. My sleep dramatically improved, and then it kind of degraded really when I got all this sinus stuff again. Man, it was so brutal. And but now with implementing the hostage tape just once, and then now warning with the hostage tape, once you put it on, that's it. You ain't opening your mouth. So make sure, like, okay, I'm getting ready to put my head on the pillow. You don't do it before then, because I did that and that was funny. But but yeah, so that's so that is health check.
Funny. There you go. Health check.
So now we're on to y'all, this is a value for value proposition. So if you love what we do, go on over to TheTexasBoys.com. We still do have 1/4 of a cow left.
Yes.
So if you are local to the Northeast Texas area and want to pick up in Mount Pleasant, go to TheTexasBoys.com. And I've had 3 or 4 people say, hey, I want that last quarter, but until you lock it in, it's not locked in.
The deposit is on the website, and it's easy as just going on there and reserving it. Yep.
So check us out over there. We have some merch. We've been having a lot of honey purchases and some renewed merch purchases.
Yeah. So that's definitely nice. Big thank you to all of our customers out there. And crazy enough, we've been able to refine our packaging and everything like that. So we've been able to get stuff out much faster. And also Lord willing, this doesn't mess us up, but we've been having a really good streak of nothing damaged, like nothing lost. I'm gonna say that, and like now for like the next month we're gonna have stuff missing, but it's awesome. It's so nice. Like you package stuff up real good, you put your warning labels on it, and people get it. It's not destroyed. So,
and sadly, and this hurts me really bad, but we totally ditched UPS.
Yep, ditched them.
Yeah, and
'Cause they were
and we're
trash.
just doing USPS, and
That
right
sounds
now
insane.
they're
but
offering the best service, and they actually get it there.
cheapest price,
Yeah,
and they get it there, and it's not blown up.
Yeah, and it's very
UPS.
It really hurts me to say that.
Yep.
I mean, I'm a Lysander Spooner guy, yo.
Guess what I learned this week?
What's that?
There's actually, this is very off subject, but with UPS, there's actually UPS socks.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
And they sell them like on eBay. It's kind of hilarious. It's so funny.
I'm sure
it's so funny. So anyway, on to our main topic. So
not yet. Not yet.
Verse of the day.
Verse of the day.
Verse of the day. People are going to be going
all right,
crazy.
y'all. We are going to give you the verse of the day. We are in Psalms. We are in Psalm chapter 2, verses 11 and 12. Serve the Lord with fear. Rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry and you perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are they that put their trust in him. And there is no fear of the Lord, and we want to admonish you to fear the Lord. We want to encourage you to repent and believe the gospel, because the day is at hand. And we're seeing lots of things in the news, and it's good to be prepared, and it's good to have food. But if you are not prepped for eternity, like our good friends over there at Prep for Eternity, if you're not prepped for eternity, you know, what good does it do if you gain the whole world and lose your own soul?
Yep.
And another reason, we got a comment. We got
viewer
a comment.
mail.
So let me do a viewer mail right now.
Real quick.
And I'll have to go back in the comments.
It would be nice if this thing would tell us how many minutes in we are, but
yeah, I'm not sure. And the other uncanny thing is the clock time down there is not right either, which makes it even better.
Oh yeah, it's 5 o'clock. It says it's 4:20. Oh boy.
Hold on a second. So this was on one of our, I hope I can find
videos.
Yeah, it was on one of our oh yeah, here it is. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Andrew Russell.
Let's see here.
Great video. Oh boy, you know that it's coming.
Oh, it's
great
coming.
video. Love the content.
Sure you do.
Minus the religious stuff. Strange how religious people give God, which he quotes and does put a capital G there.
Check that out.
Praise for creating so many things, but never get upset when he gives children cancer that rots them away from the inside and lets children starve to death. Odd. If you want to explain that, I'd be happy to listen. So, Andrew, I find it fascinating and interesting that an atheistic person would even care, right? Because God's like this made up construct that we know from Lenin or Stalin or whatever. It's just a crutch for weak minds, right? So we invent this God so that, it appeases our conscience. So I'm curious of why you would even care that someone would give praise to God for the blessings that he bestows upon them, and then simultaneously blame him for all the death, evil, and destruction when you don't even think he exists, but somehow you've created a construct in your mind where you are blaming the God that doesn't even exist, that you think is a religious construct, on all the bad stuff that happens. So Andrew, I don't expect a lost person to understand that. And I don't, all I can do is encourage you to seek the Lord, read the scriptures, and beg him for mercy. And, God is able to save. His arm is not short. And so my recommendation would be, if you truly want to know that answer, seek the Lord while he may be found, and search the scriptures.
Everything has a purpose. It's not just like willy-nilly. Like, God's not just willy-nilly with everything. So like when my mom got thyroid cancer, and then he amazingly healed her, like straight up miracle status, healed her, and then the gigantic tumor that was growing in her throat, that was gigantic, vanished. You know, that's a miracle.
Inexplicable.
Yeah, you just can't describe it, you know? And then I could see why people would be like, well, why would God do that? You know, why would God do, you know, something to that person or whatever? But there's always a reason why he's doing it. He's testing you, testing your faith. And, you know, even say right now, like tomorrow, I figure out, I get cancer, right? Really bad cancer. And I end up dying. Big whoop. You know, I die tomorrow. Great. Awesome. Hook it up. You know, save me a step. You know, I get to go be in heaven for the rest of eternity. You know, awesome. You know, what's like, oh, or, you know, I'm starving on a tropical island and I'm about to die in 24 hours. Yeah. Does it suck to be starving? Absolutely. There's a reason I'm starving. You know, God's testing me or something, you know, but at the end of the day, if you are his, you know, and you are saved, you know, you're going to be going to heaven.
Yeah. And God's people, God's children, give him all the praise and the honor and the glory. That's why we are thankful. What's the better alternative to be? Because
I think people that they're like, oh, well, if you believe in God, you know, only like, you know, if you believe in him, only good things will happen to you. You know, you will have no negative things. And that is not the case.
That's like postmodern theology.
Yeah.
You know, that's prosperity gospel. That's Joel Osteen.
And that's a bunch of garbage because crap happens to everyone. Yeah. And it is all for a reason, you know? So, yeah. So,
and I mean, you could, you know, I have an older brother and, you know, he's in sales like me and everything. And he's like super self-help and everything, which there's not per se anything wrong with some of that. A lot of it is new age and a lot of it is new age sewage, as I call it. And
new age sewage. That's a good one.
You know, and I'm so thankful to me for this parking spot, you know, because I put out all these good vibes.
He'll actually say that.
Relatively speaking. I mean, I'm translating it a little bit, but I mean, that's where these people are, these thankful people that aren't thankful to God, right? They're thankful to, oh, thank you, dear, for giving your life for us. And now I will eat the deer meat. Thank you so much, dear. Thank you, Mother Earth. Yeah. You know, they'll give thanks to anything but God.
Everything and
it's so scary and talk about superstitious and everything else. And that, you know, that's my perspective as a Christian, and they'll look at me and say the same thing. So it's not like, you know, if you are born again, if you are a child of God, you are regenerated and you're a new creature and you have the Holy Spirit, you're going to see lots of things diametrically opposite and different from the world. So we are going to be moving into the main topic. Now, what's going to happen now is if you're watching on TheTube, we are going to bid you adieu.
Those.
And unfortunately, I don't have a timestamp. So, because I don't know what's up with StreamYard or whatever.
No idea.
So I have no timestamp, but if you're on YouTube, what I'm going to ask you to do is go on over to your favorite podcatcher, click the link down below. Love the Fountain app. You can comment on the Fountain app and earn sats for listening and all that kind of cool stuff.
There you go.
But go onto your favorite podcatcher and subscribe to the Fearless Podcast. If you like us, give us a 5-star review. It helps. Share the podcast, share this video. That helps a lot too. But we are going to be going to the rest of this video is going to be podcast exclusive. And when you go over there, you'll find out why.